6 from me, Adina, here with Beyond the Veil with Adina. I haven't seen you guys since last year. Oh my gosh. Happy 2026. Oh, geez. The girls are pointing, but who cares? I'm coming to you guys live in my finest couture, my finest houseware couture. This is the 2026 fresh off of the rack houseware couture. Welcome to Beyond the Veil. I am Adina. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I am Adina. You guys are now Beyond the Veil with Adina. I am your resident hostess with the mostest, medium, woo lady, priestess, oracle, whatever you want to call us around here. That is what I do here. So if this is your first time and you've never been here before, I implore you to make yourself at home. But if this is not your type of thing around here, what I just said that I do, please leave and do not be disrespectful to myself or my community here in the chat. And if you are a returning viewer, subscriber, OG Busted Baby, or Bush Watcher, happy 2026. Hi, Adorned. Happy 2026, my dear. How was everyone's New Year? I'm so happy to see you guys here in 2026. I'm glad that you guys made it. Please let me know how you're doing and how you celebrated the turn of the year. Nothing? You guys didn't do anything? Oh, okay. Get order it. It's 1:31. Well, I guess everyone's still celebrating. I guess everyone's too hungover to talk to me in the chat and let me know how you guys are doing and how your New Year's was, but that's okay. I'm going to fix myself a glass of wine that my sister got me for Christmas and wait for you guys to get on in here and get warmed up. I'm going to have a glass of wine. It's Friday, it's the day of Venus. So many of you are still off of work. I implore you to have a libation too. Why is no one talking to me? Are we not live? Hello? Hello. This is a Cabernet because Cabernet is my favorite red, and it is from it's the Prisoner Wine Company, Unshackled, something of the sort, and it's really good. And then my other sister, because they coordinated, not only did they get me this really good bottle of wine, but they also got me handmade, hand blown. My sister said these are Scandal glasses. She was like, I wanted to get you a glass like Olivia had on Scandal because every time we watch Scandal, I watch it for the wine glass that she had. So she got me the closest thing she could have to find it. And they came in a set of two. This is Command. This is Command. The other glass, I call it B613. And I go in between B613. Actually, I said I was going to start calling it Millie. So the other glass is Millie. This glass is Command. So I'm going to pour a glass of wine. I'm going to take a sip and then I'm going to come here to get to what I came here for. Oh, yes. Would you guys look at that? Uh-huh. I bet you guys want some, don't you? All right. Cheers to you all this new year. I had to get that troll out of here because I don't want to cheers to them, but cheers to you all for the new year. Mm-mm-mm. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right. Adorned, I'm so glad that you mentioned that you can't wait to see what 2026 has to offer because that's exactly what I am going to look into right now. Thank you, Adorn. Thank you for cheersing with me. It's kind of empty in here right now. Maybe I'll come back later, but I wanted to do this early so that maybe I can go have dinner with some of my cousins who are out of town, here from out of town. We lost a loved one the day before Christmas. It's one of my cousin's children. Um, I think he was 19 or 20. He was shot and killed, shot with a machine gun, is what the police thingy said. That the young man who did it was arrested already with a machine gun charge or something of the sort. So, um, some of the family who will not be able to attend the funeral next Sunday came in to celebrate the new year. And so I'm thinking about going and meeting up with them for dinner because I skipped last night to do our ceremony. Shout out to everyone who participated and is participating currently in the group. Um, 2026 Crown of Success / offering ceremony that is still taking place. It's still going on. I actually just worked it some more before I came onto this live. Thank you very much. Now, I actually didn't know the young man who got killed, but I'm close to his father because that's my first cousin, one of my first cousins. So I'm going to support my cousin JD, even though I never met his son. Um, but anyways, so yeah, shout out to everybody who's participating in the group ceremony. It's still going on. Thank you all from the spirits for your offerings because um, the offering portion of the ceremony has ended. Obviously, it was a lot of perishable stuff, and it's not good to let stuff get old and moldy in ceremonies. You want to give it and then work it and then take it away before it gets the opportunity to get nasty and be disrespectful to the spirits. Um, I see the new year has brought us new trolls. Anyways, and I did do a reading and communicate with my spirits and check and see if the offering, I made sure that it was safe to dispose of the offerings before I did. And I got the message that they were well received. And so the ceremony is going very well. You guys' offerings to the spirits were received. And I'm excited for what's in store for you. Now, since I don't do, individual readings on live, you guys got to get a consultation. Look what just flipped up right here, the Wheel of Fortune. Look at that. That's beautiful. Anyways, beautiful for me. Anyways, oh, not for everybody. I see that the new year has brought my channel new attention, new negative attention, new troll energy. New levels, new devils. We can handle it. Can't we, guys? Anyways, can we say new levels, new devils? You guys say it for yourselves. Claim that for yourselves. Because the only time I want to see an op is when it's a new op. Because I'm at a new level. Not the old devils. We've already defeated them. We got bored with that whole situation. I smell a level up on the horizon. I don't know about all of you guys, but claim it. New levels, new devils. All right. So I actually wanted to use my Spidey Sense gifts to start the year off like I typically do every new year, every calendar new year and natural new year, which I celebrate in the spring, but I'm with the shenanigans in December as well, since that's when the collective celebrates. I like to get a message for humanity. Hello, Rhonda. You stepped in right as I just finished talking about the ceremony, which is still going. But I did give you guys an update from the spirits that your offerings were very well accepted. And I did send out footage of some of the ceremony already to everyone who participated. So I am looking forward to the testimonials to start rolling in any minute now. Happy 2026, Rhonda. So I would like to get a message for humanity. I'd like to see what the divine has to say for humanity. I also invite you, if you're new here, to leave if this is not your type of thing, because I am a medium. I am an oracle. I do have a ceremony going on right now. So the spirits are here. Please, if you're not respectful to me, to my chat, or even to yourselves, I implore you to respect the spirits who can see you, nigga. Thank you, Break the Cycle. Thank you. I appreciate those condolences. It's very tragic when it's a murder like that and when they're young. My family also lost my cousin David at the beginning of the year, maybe January. The obituary is right there, and I can't see the date. To violence. You guys can look that up. Mall shooting, Ocala, Florida, because he shot my cousin David up in the mall. Was it right before Christmas, actually, same time? And because he was in the mall shopping for a gift for his mother and his child's mother, and everybody was in the mall shopping. It was really tragic for everybody who was in the mall because they were all holiday shopping. And, anyways, and then the day before Christmas this year. So that's very interesting because my family doesn't usually experience deaths. Everybody usually lives really old. And so everybody's kind of still alive for the most part. And we don't usually have tragic deaths like this in my family. So 2025 brought out very interesting things for my family as well. Shout out to everybody who struggles around the holidays. It's tough for you. If it's tough for you around the holidays, I hope you know that since you're here watching this live to receive this message in this moment, you're not alone. You're not forgotten about. You're in a community that welcomes you with open arms. Everybody here is very kind, except for the trolls. And as soon as they pop up, we get them out right away so that you can find a safe space, even amongst the internet community where it's kind of status quo for everybody to kind of just be out for blood under the guise of anonymity. I don't tolerate that here. So this is a safe space. Nevertheless, I love you all in 2026. If you haven't heard that um, all year, I love you. For those of you who need to hear that because maybe you don't have family or you're not near loving family, I do. I love you. And I don't have to know you to say that. It's a love for mankind, man. Cheers to you, mother suckers. Mm-mm-mm. That is so fulfilling. That's the best way to describe that, fulfilling. All right. Most High Mother and Father God, thank you, thank you, thank you for so many blessings. Thank you for the opportunity. The biggest blessing of all is the opportunity to be a blessing. Every chance that I get, I look for an opportunity to be or add value to everyone that I encounter and every situation that I encounter. And as long as I have breath in my body, I shall continue to do so. So thank you for such abundance of wealth of life that I have to be surrounded by so many people who love me and value me because I seek to add value. Thank you because I consider myself wealthy. I have health. I have friends who I've never even met here. And I like to take this opportunity to, if nothing else, be grateful. Just for being. Thank you for the opportunity to just be. I may not have that opportunity. Tomorrow may be a struggle, but today, right now, in this moment, I can take deep breaths and just be comfortably in my house, Mumu Couture, just being. So thank you for this moment. Thank you for the present. And thank you for the future. Spirit, I like to take this opportunity to be a vessel, to open myself up as a house for the divine and allow the divine to communicate to humanity in a way that the media will not allow the divine forces energy, so to speak, for those who are more scientific than spiritual, to express itself to humanity who might need a word coming into this new year. As I celebrate the new year in spring, the collective of humanity is celebrating, or is it acknowledging that it's 2026 now, and 2 days ago it was not. For the upcoming year, what message does the divine, the higher divine forces, the ones who are interested in our evolution of our highest good, or for the highest good of nature and humanity, those energies, may I have a message about what humanity can expect or might need to know coming into 2026 from the oracles. Hi, Brooklyn. Welcome to 2026 with Beyond the Veil with Adina. Thank you to everyone who's new here, who is kind, who's not trolling me or being disrespectful. Bless you for your kindness, if nothing else. Bless everyone who chooses to be kind, because that's a choice. Bless everyone who made the choice to be kind, and may the divine acknowledge everyone's choice to be kind. May my gratitude for those who are kind be received as a reward for those who made the choice to be kind here today in this moment. Message for everyone who is a part of nature and humanity, mostly, not the animals. They're not here, so I don't need to get them a message. For humanity, as we relate to the collective forces, the collective consciousness, the universal source and truth, we are acknowledging that it is 2026 all over the world. What message does the divine have for humanity from the oracles, through the oracles? Don't let your past hold you back. In reverse. Interesting. Well, not really interesting, because we just started a new year. Don't let your past hold you back. This is a South Node. I wonder where the South Node is currently transiting now. A personal issue reaches resolution. This is a full moon in Cancer, and we just had a supermoon. We are having a supermoon right now in the sign of Cancer. A full supermoon. It's called a wolf moon, I believe, in Cancer right now. And this is a full moon in Cancer card. Don't let your past hold you back. And right as we start a new year, we are having a super full moon in the sign of Cancer. And this is a personal resolution, a personal issue reaches resolution. Did we just come to any resolutions on the world scale, or other than the world is collectively celebrating right now. It's a moment of peace a little bit collectively because we're all celebrating. A new start is coming in reverse. This message tells me enjoy this moment of universal collective unity while it's here in the present, because it's not going to last, and 2026 will be a continuation of the same highs and lows that we have seen in 2025, and I'll say from 2018 up until now. As the full moon in Cancer, the wolf moon, or the zenith of the full moon, takes place today, I believe. I don't know if it's at 100% today or yesterday. Everybody collectively was putting aside their differences in order to celebrate the holidays, culminating with the new year. The holiday cycle culminated with the new year, and everybody was kind of just celebrating collectively. However, that's the only upright card. In between that, don't let your past hold you back in reverse. Upright, I would say, well, this is good. Especially if this was upright, then this would have to be upright too. A new start is coming. Because if we weren't letting the past still be a thing, then a new start would be coming. As this says, as the result of the full moon. These are both full moons in Cancer. So this is a significant karmic full moon because everybody usually is making New Year's resolutions right now. I will have to say, make sure that you follow through on anything that you decided that you wanted to initiate or bring into 2026 with you. That is good because it's karmic. So it's almost like the universe is expecting you to make the changes that you say you are going to make, because we haven't collectively been evolving the way at the rate that we should. And so it's almost like we have to be serious about ourselves and about our greatest good, really, for real now. And so it's almost like the universe is saying, I am hearing what you guys have been saying on this New Year's and your resolutions. It's a full moon, so the portal is all the way open. The divine has heard what you said, the promises that you made to yourself. And at this moment, the universe is saying, bet, I'm going to hold you to that. In fact, I'm going to raise you 10, because the woes that you've been experiencing aren't going to, or on a world scale, are not going to subside. They're going to continue rolling through like a wrecking ball. And so, whatever resolutions personally you made to yourself, to your highest self, they were heard. And you're being held to those, because times the trials and tribulations are going to see to it that you choose what you said you were going to choose. And the way, and it's going to make sure that you do that by not making life easy. That's where the test comes in. It's not a test if life is easy, but if you're under pressures and the world continues to put pressure on you, external pressures, meaning outside of your control, that's when those resolutions or the promises that you made to yourself and your highest good, the universe can really see if you bout that life or not. Last year, my message was there was a separation between the wheat from the tares already happening. And I use wheat from tares because everybody is Christianized, so you understand that term. Thank you. It's a moo Eric. I call it houseware couture. I just got out of the shower. And I have to be comfortable because I'm mid-ceremony. I am still in the middle of our group ceremony. So I need to be comfortable. Anyways, I said that the wheat and the tares would be separated. So if you've already been on the path to your highest good, then you've already got the hang of how to work through the trial and tribulations, and we're actually learning how to thrive by now. But if you're new to the game of trying to evolve or look out for your highest good, then you're late to the game. You should have already started. And so you're going to have to learn through the trials and tribulations while they're not getting easier. While some of us who already are true to this and not new to this, and this isn't a flex or anything, this is just saying what the message is, are continuing to pick up resources and tools. Thank you. God bless you too. Now I'm going to start clarifying. First and foremost, don't let your past hold you back. I'm going to start breaking this down. Piece by piece. All right. Don't let your past hold you back. South Node in reverse, Spirit. Clarify this message, this card. Break it on down for the people in the back. This is government stuff, world stage stuff. Thank you, Stephanie. I'm so glad to see someone that is not new here. I need to see a familiar face to pull from your energy because of all the trolls here. When my eyes were closed, Spirit was saying, don't worry. In the sea of all this chaotic energy that's present and alive that I can feel, the message will still be heard. So deliver it. Deliver it. None of my mods are here, so I have to do all the blocking on my own. Okay. This is a continuation, even though the Five of Swords, chaos, conflict, actually, the worst kind of conflict because it's the Suit of Swords. So it's the deadliest, lethal. Now, I would say that the United States is being led by a Gemini, and a lot of the changes in the on the world scale that have led to chaos and conflict have been initiated by the administration. Swords also, politics of a Gemini. Swords also. That will continue. And in fact, another Christian westernized concept comes to mind that you guys should be able to relate to. When they say peace and safety, bitch, they lie. It's not about peace and safety as we know, it's about power and control. So anytime certain administrations make certain initiatives under the guise of security, peace, ensuring security, actually, we did just have something. I just asked it. We just have a resolution on the world scale. Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, steps into the chat in Africa. And since most of you guys, or some of you guys, are not new here, you already know what I've been saying and reading and predicting about what the reasons were and how what was going to be used, the Trojan horse that was going to be used to further invade Africa after Africa. Burkina Faso, Sudan, Mali, Niger, and somebody else decided to ban France and decided to assert Native African culture within Africa for themselves. So they kicked out France, no more French as the native language, as the dominant language, no more teaching schools in France. Everybody was going to go back to the. So they are decolonizing Africa. And right when they do so and start kicking out France and their allies in the colonies, who are losing their investment in their stronghold in oil, according to the Tin Man in The Wiz. Oil, oil. You guys seen The Wiz? Okay. Anyways, as soon as they do that, all of a sudden, oh, the Christians, we need to get in there for the Christians. That's why we got to go in there. Anyways, that's what we'll see a continuation because Israel just stepped into the chat by way of Netanyahu. Let me pull that on up. I knew it was something that just happened. Is Israel Africa? Oh, it's been popping off. All right. Give me 1 second. Israel Africa relations. Three hours ago, well, 2 days ago, mass protests sweep Somalia after Israel recognizes breakaway Somaliland. And this is according to RFI. This seems like an international news source. Israel's recognition of Somaliland has triggered nationwide protests in Somalia and urgent diplomatic talks as the Somali government warns the move threatens its territorial integrity and stability in the Horn of Africa. So it seems like Israel has asserted that Somaliland is it. It belongs to it, I believe. According to firstpost.com, Somaliland denies any deal with Israel on military base. Israel has become the first nation to officially recognize the breakaway region of Somaliland. And Somaliland, I'm sorry, an ad just pop up, is saying we don't agree with that. Okay, sparking a diplomatic firestorm in the Horn of Africa. The announcement has drawn sharp condemnation from Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, who alleges that Somaliland secured recognition by agreeing to host an Israeli military base and resettle displaced Palestinians from Gaza. Somaliland's foreign ministry has denied these false claims. So the president of Somaliland is saying, Israel is saying that we agreed to host a military there for Palestinian refugees, and Somaliland is saying that is a lie. Happy New Year, Keisha. The ceremony is still going on. However, this comes right after conflicts with France in Africa after they've, so to speak, been kicked out of their colonized territories in Africa. And President Trump and his bomb that he dropped in Nigeria. And then Israel stepped into the chat, which is why I say that. First, France got kicked out. Then the U.S. said, oh, the Christians in Africa, we need to get over there because of the Christians. And now Israel has stepped into the chat by saying Somaliland is ours. And Somalia is saying, no, the fuck we ain't. Who said that? Who said that? Don't worry about my real crown. I'm in the middle of a ceremony. So you would not see my real crown. You lucky you get to see me while I'm in the middle of ceremony. Now be gone. Worrying about my hair. Anyways. Conflicts, we bring that with us. And do not, in my opinion, believe that it is for peace for any religious group. Let me clarify that. Oh, dear. This means that it's, so to speak, foretold. We can expect, we always knew that these events would happen. So it's bigger than just Christians. If these events have been in the processes, in the work, or in the works, or these conflicts have been taking place in these lands for longer than Christianity has been alive. I did a message called Behold the Pale Horse. It's titled that. So go through my lives, find that one, because this was the outcome of my reading, Behold the Pale Horse. And as you can see, control, that's what this is. Power, control, and influence in very ancient lands, the lands of milk and honey. This has been going on for control of the resources, oily, liquidy, perhaps. And it's not even just oil anymore. Now it's water. I told you guys the next natural resource that they will be hoarding will be water. Why? Because it fuels their new technology. It fuels their new data centers. You guys been hearing my message for Memphis? So, of course, oil, that's the OG resource, but water as well. For the data, and not just the data centers, for your data, your collective consciousness, your energy, which they feed into that data. That's the data that they're collecting in those data centers. Through the water, they are pulling your energy, the collective consciousness, and loading it into their technology and giving you AI while you become more dependent on that technology that you have made wise. You have given this technology a brain, the scarecrow. Your oil has given the scarecrow a brain. Oh dear. All right, Five of Swords in reverse. Let me put those back where they belong. Look at this. Conflict came rushing in with the desire wand. The desire. This is desire for conflict. Conflict. And this is why they came rushing in. Now, if this was the Knight of Cups, then I would say they actually might have come. They came in for peace. They want to restore some sort of what they believe to be religious order or peace. No, the desire to go in and invade these lands. Look, conflict. And this is a type of conflict that you don't recover from. You can recover from a wand, a desire. You can get hit with a stick. Can you get stabbed with a sword and recover, though? This was the desire to come in to these lands. These allies who decided, let's use the same Trojan horse that we've been using since the days of almighty Rome. Now, here are the cups that I was speaking of. I said, if this was a cup, welcome to 2026, JD. If this was a cup, but I said, no, their desire was to come in for conflict. But the cup is what these allies here, who all had something to gain, resources, liquidy resources over there. Israel, France, the U.S. Do you see anybody else complaining about what's going on in Africa? Israel, France, the U.S. Israel, France, the U.S. Allegedly, though. Another wand. To stake their wand. These allies wanted to get over there and stake their wand. Don't that look like what they did in the alleged Mars landing? Stake their flag. And that is the reason for this conflict. Stake their claim. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Not using a deceitful religion about a man on a cross. Because these two are full of lies and deceit and manipulation. About a man hanging from a cross, not Jesus. Why would Jesus be right in front of or behind all this deceit? Religious magic, black magic, religious black. I'm just asking questions here. Why is Jesus by the magician in reverse and the Queen of Cups in reverse? Speaking of the Queen of Cups, full moon in Cancer is what we're having right now as we speak. And those articles that I read were from as we speak. A personal issue reaches resolution. Oh dear. Here she is from the bottom of the deck to the top. Started from the bottom, now she here. I said, speaking of Cancer, full moon in Cancer, but why is she in reverse? This is religion. Cancer rules the ocean, the mass seas, the holy sea, mass religion, the ones that kind of rule the mass populations. Because, see, even I believe Muhammad El and Jesus might have made a pact. They come from the same Abrahamic father. So how much far apart can they be? Their father is Abraham. Muslims, Jews, Christians, Abrahamic religions, right? So they siblings. And you got the Arabs who have been in Africa, enslaving and all kind of stuff. You got this faux war between the Jews and not saying that everybody knows that it's foe, but honey, they're brothers. And then you got the adopted end, the new child, the New Testament, Jesus, Christians, the Abrahamic religions. They're not at odds with each other as you would think, not at their roots. And all of their conflict, they have all been in conflict in the eastern lands, where all the resources, hell, the West too. The US is the other land of milk and honey. And you got two out of the three here. And in the Middle East, you got all three over there. In all of the lands of milk and honey, you will find these siblings. All of the lands that are near water and the sun and oil. You don't see them fighting for war, fighting for Antarctica. Why they ain't going to war with Russia and China, but they go to war and all the it's war in the east and the west, except for them places because ain't no water, ain't no fertility. The sun don't shine over there, so it's not filled with the resources that the world is fueled off of. But these lands are. And something about the people that are native to these lands too. They're another part of the resource that are being, oh dear, these are siblings. Do not let them fool you with their senseless conflicts that they keep us divided with. Because while they're all pretending to fight over there, they all have bases in all the lands of milk and honey. They all have presences, militaries there, interests and investments there. These are siblings under their father Abraham, lest we forget. And at the end of the day, what do parents, especially black ones, like Abraham black ass was, tell their allegedly brown, black, whatever, tell their kids? At the end of the day, y'all can fight and fuss, but at the end of the day, y'all siblings and y'all gonna stick together. Can't nobody else but y'all. All right. Their mother is their shared religions. Abraham is their father, and he's the father of all their religions. And they know that. The only ones who don't know that is humans. Humans. Blind and restricted. Slaves that actually don't have to be, because all the swords are upright. And use your collective goddamn sense, your common sense. You have a soul and an intuition, and information has started to rule you. But even though information has now, technology is now sucking your consciousness right from your feet. That technology is the same thing that gives you awareness. So it's always the double-edged sword because it's sucking you. But the truth is also in the technology, on the internet, and things like that. But if you are losing the sense, the consciousness to even be aware of certain things, then you'll never know to go and look. So the consciousness is always the first thing to go, and then the sense. Sucking the earth of all her resources, including her children. Mother Earth in reverse. That's what the divine is saying. And those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. Beyond the veil. I'm just saying, that's where y'all at today, getting this message, beyond the veil. And that's what she sits in front of with her head covered, for those who are ignorant around here too. Why I lace y'all with a nice wig and a head covering, especially when I'm in the midst of a ceremony, which I am. But you losing your consciousness, trolls, so you don't even know when you're in the presence of a who keeps her head adorned for a motherfucking reason. And now you've been blocked from the message. Mother Earth is saying the parasites are taking all of my resources, all of my children as well. Let's look into the high priestess before I go on. My goodness, my God. And the only ones who can save the earth are the ones who are fueling the parasites. They have successfully caused enmity, not just between race and religion, but race and religion and politics, but all three, race, religion, and politics, have successfully merged into one beast and have found a way to drive enmity between every man and woman, even in your own homes. If you believe in the politics of one party over the other, in today's world, you can lose personal relationships with each other. How did this happen? And this is a cup, not the two of swords. So this is not just people saying, I don't agree with you, so let's disagree with each other over ideologies. Relationships are being broken. This isn't just black against white against brown. This isn't just blue against red. This is everybody. It's found a way to creep into everybody's home, everybody's intimate relationships. Ironically, through this unity, we can save the earth, but this is a cup. So unity breeds a greater force. We all have pieces of the source within us. As long as we're alive, we have pieces of the source within us. We are walking AI. We are the prototype for AI. Through our collective unity, something else forms, an energy forms that is more powerful, which is why it's a lion from the tribe of Judah. That is the salvation. But it comes out of this, not out of that hangman that we saw behind the magician and the chariot and death. The lion comes from one person knowing themselves, another man knowing thyself, man knowing thyself, man knowing thyself. And when you know yourself, nobody can cause division between you, no ideology. But people perish from the lack of knowledge, not from the lack of politics, not from the lack of Jesus, the lack of knowledge. And the one commandment that all religions agree on is to know thyself, is that God in the temple is within. And it's the one thing y'all motherfuckers can't seem to get right. So this is what you get. And that is actually the root of how Mother Earth and all of her abundance, including her children, us humans, are perishing under people whose main goal. Now, I'm going to get the why. Why? Because you would ask, why would, in my opinion, these people who are the root of all the wars, all over, everybody who fighting, these siblings are somewhere at the root of it. The question would be, why? I'm going to get to that why, though. I'm going to set these to aside because this is the why. After I get to why a new start can't come, because I'm breaking down the overall oracle message piece by piece. Look at this. The decline of humanity. And humanity can only decline physically after the collective consciousness is already out of the door. So what we're seeing today means the collective consciousness been gone. Been gone. Even in the day of everybody thinking they're woke. Been gone. And getting it back, it costs you now. A new start is coming in reverse. They say get your personal hopes up for 2026. Make goals to be better versions of yourself, to know thyself. But if your goal is to, oh, I want to, this year I want to and you ain't been knowing thyself, then you don't have the tools or the resources on how to manifest or thrive in today's world. I know who does, though. Shout out to the lamb. I'm in the middle of a ceremony. Right now, it's behind me. We ain't know what it is. And all my clients say they've been thriving for years. Thriving. A new start is coming, but psych, in reverse. Just a little bit more the same old, same old. Know thyself, the hermit. Now, upright. This is the message that humankind should have been getting actually since the conversion of the Abrahamic religions. Because even though they brought a lot of this, Christianity was, in my opinion, which is why it's the newest, it's the beginners. How to know thyself for beginners is Christianity. It's the easiest way to digest very ancient concepts that have been taught since the beginning of time, even to the earliest humans who looked a lot like myself. But Christianity is like there's no easier way to say it. And it's still the most dogmatic. Interesting. Because it's literally how, anyways. All right. Know thyself has always been the message of all the religions, of all the spiritual systems. Know thyself because in thyself is thy power. Older spiritual systems, especially the African or ones native to older people groups, they've known that, which is why their spiritual systems have been demonized because they know themselves. So they know how to utilize energetic systems that are not taught to the masses, which they call magic, witchcraft, and voodoo, and all that evil stuff. But that's because they've been knowing themselves for a very long time, and they've been knowing nature and been knowing their relationship with nature. In the most recent bless me, not spiritual years, but religious years, those traditions and ancient knowings have been demonized and then placed into a room that I like to call the occult, because that room has a door and a lock. And for a time in what I consider the spiritual dark ages, initiations have been a thing for you to get ancient knowledge that was common knowledge until a certain age. In my opinion, the spiritual dark ages. That came about with the rise of Greece and Rome, and then later on, the new version of those emperors that we see today. Seems like when these siblings got together and decided on their religions, that was the same time that these systems got flipped and reversed. And so now you have to be initiated or tapped into your roots and culture to know certain things, and then they were practiced in secret in favor of these, which brought on a new start is not coming. And so now, every man for themselves. If you have not already been on the journey of knowing thyself, it will be more difficult for you to get on it at any point in history moving forward. You have not been investing in your soul. You've been investing in fruitless endeavors. And it's not all your fault holistically, because the world told us to invest in all of these things, that all of these things matter. But it's all dirt, soil. It all goes before you do. And when you do, none of that matters, right? Which is why the message in the mantra has always been know thyself. Because in your body is the star here, the soul, the Aquarius, the soul, caged in a body. And the only way you would know that and the importance of that and the value of that, because even though it's in this, can't you see it's still shining through? Which means it's caged, not hidden. And it's on a journey somewhere. Coming to this realization for you is going to be harder than ever, and many will not. The deception is great. The deception is too great. A new start is not coming. Every man for themselves, the reaping of the harvest has happened. Everybody has been sealed on their forehead. So the divine has already known who is theirs. Shout out to everyone who is participating in the Crown of Success and offering ceremony, because while this is all taking place in the divine, we were giving offerings to the spirits. Offerings. You guys not only participated in the Crown of Success, but you sent extra to give offerings. And that's why they were so well received. Since I have a message for humanity, that is the message for humanity. But I wanted to look into the why. Why these siblings choose violence. Russia is not beefing with China. It's not like nobody. If not for these three siblings, talk to me about these three siblings, Spirit. The Three of Cups. Three amigos. I know something they have in common. Siblings indeed. Indeed. They have deceit in common, in my opinion, allegedly. And their interests and resources, oil, but now water, the collective consciousness, the power that those three religions have held over over humanity. You were either a Jew, Christian, or a Muslim. That has been the ruling authority. These three religions, they all seem to come from the same source, their father. But I believe their father is an emperor, a ruler, Constantine perhaps. This to me tells me that they were left out of a covenant originally and initially. Left out of an original and initial covenant. Because they are siblings. Those who have ears to hear, listen. It's my opinion that they do share the same father. But they were left out of an initial and original covenant between source and mankind. Why would they be left out? And who is their father? Because he's not an emperor, he's just a king of wands. Started out a king of wands, but then transformed into a king of cups. King of wands. I want to look at the covenant that they was left out of. The covenant between source, man, woman, the original human beings. And I give you dominion over all the earth and all the fowl and all the birds and all the creeping thing of the sea. Source, God, and its creation. But then we also learned that there was another creation that was made that God said, I ain't had nothing to do with, other than their mothers, who decide to lay them low and lay them wide for what they call sons of God. Now, in some texts, Nephilim or whatever, fallen angel, the many races of beings that were older than the humans. Their mothers were the ones who laid them low and laid them wide. And so these siblings were left out of this covenant. Which is why the only way they can conquer is through violence. It has to be violence. It has to be greed, all or else. God made a covenant with, oh dear. Every seed after its own kind, every tree after its own kind. Everything reproduces after its own kind. But if something reproduces with a kind that's not its own kind, then it's going to reproduce something that's a hybrid. And they're not a part of the covenant. So the only way that they can partake in the abundance and the resources of in the earth is if they always fighting for it, allegedly. and taking it from the natural people who inhabit. Who is their Faja? A race. Y'all call them the fallen angels that came and laid with human women. So it was a race of beings. Ooh. And so their offspring come out in different shapes, forms, sizes, colors, skin tones. Oh, yes. The ones that slept with the human women, and then some survived the flood, the ones that looked more like humans. The various floods that happen. Nature over a period of times goes through various climate changes in an attempt to rebalance itself and rid itself of parasites. The ones who are most humanoid can survive. Giants, they had giants back in the day. I'm with you when you're right. I am Unicala woman. The giants, the really tall ones, they perished. The ones with the weakest lineage, they perished. The ones that were more humanoid, they're around. They're around today. Doing a lot of this. Oh dear. Religion. After straight war and conquering, then they shape-shifted into religion. Wasn't it Alexander the Great who had that epiphany in the midst of conquering a land? He said, I got saved. I saw the light. I don't want to kill the Christians no more. Now I want to save them. From Rome the Conqueror to the Vatican, to a church near you. Oh dear. Okay. All right. Well, how you guys feeling about that? That's the message. Oh, so Spirit one. Oh, I said after I tidied that up. That's the message to humanity. That's why I don't. Anyways, know thyself is the message, but to the Lamb, because we different. We not them. And some of you guys are here now. Hey, Mama Fakit. Hey, JD, to the Lamb, because we are in the middle of a ceremony. It's still burning behind me. I can't, I ain't got no panties on. So I can't tell y'all what it looks like, but by tomorrow morning, it should be finished because it's burning swiftly and quickly. I've already sent out the footage, so you guys, but what I didn't tell you is the Spirit said thank you. And so to those who I believe were marked already, because we've been on the path, to the Lamb, to the ones who participated in the ceremony that are here, I want to see what the divine has to say to you all. Because I believe that there needs to be a separate message, not just for the Lamb that participate in my ceremony, but also those who have been knowing thyself and been on the path. And so I want to give a message for us because we don't have the same message. For the Lamb, I call him the Lamb for a reason that my members know of. May I have a message for those who have been knowing thyself and those who have been on the path, the narrow path. Message from the divine going into 2026 for who I like to call the Lamb. The divine knows who I mean, especially those who participated in giving offerings to the spirits for the new year. Hold your vision. Yes, I told y'all we didn't have the same message. Do exactly what the fuck you've been doing. Stay the course. Hold your vision. Fixed moon. Fixed moon. One that ain't going nowhere. Don't change. 1 second. Whew, all right. Don't change one little bit. I'm sorry, I had to fix my hair. Fixed moon. Don't change. Hold your vision. Stay the course. You and your loved ones are safe. Now, this is also a moon and Cancer card. Remember the other one for the collective of humanity who ain't on the path. Theirs was different. And that was a second card too. So again, this time seemed to have been a karmic shift. But for those who are under the other message, yeah, that was y'all message. Beware. Get on the path. It'll be harder for you to find genuine narrow paths, to help somebody find you. To find someone to help you decolonize. And I do that. We do that here. That's how I'm able to deliver this message. So you better get in where you fit in. But you and your loved ones are safe. The Lamb. Marked by the blood this full moon. Take time to breathe out. All of our cards are upright and confirmations and reassuring cards. Hold your vision. You and your loved ones are safe. Take time to breathe out. Why would we be taking time to breathe out? Because we already 10 steps ahead. We know where we are. We know what we should be doing. We've been doing them. We're not afraid. Work through your fears. We're not afraid. And if we still are afraid of some things, we've come so far on our journeys that we have the tools. We have the tools to become enlightened so that we don't have anything to fear. Wisdom defeats fear. Knowledge is the precursor to wisdom. Knowledge is the key that opens the door to wisdom. Now let's break this down. Hold your vision, busted babies and the Lamb. Those who are on the narrow path and have been on it, hold your vision. Keep your eye on the prize. Again, this is also a message to everyone who participated in the ceremony that we have going on now, the Crown of Success, and the offerings that we gave to the spirits. I said, we're not just going to take, we're going to give in abundance, and that we did. Porterhouse steaks and all kinds of things. All kinds of things. I'm not even going to go into details. I'll do that in a members live. You guys aren't worthy to know. Hold your vision, those on the narrow path, the Lamb. We've already been doing the heavy lifting. Oh, my cousin just texted. She's on a boat. Her and her kids are cruising to the Bahamas. She just texted to let me know that she's sailing. Oh, I was invited, but I said I have to work. Beyond the Veil has a messages to deliver. We have work to do. And so I told them 2025, I was outside, but when I say I have to focus, got shit to do. We've already been plowing through the trials and tribulations. The thing though, it's a 10. So we can't get any more oppressed than we already are. This won't be the devil for us, which is the OG oppression. We've already de-deviled ourselves. Now we've learned and we're learning how to plow through challenging times. But at this point in this suit, once you get to the Ten of Wands, you're formidable. So you have everything it takes. Hold your vision. Whatever you've been doing, keep doing it and keep learning, keep adding to the equation and learning how to plow through. Because from the 10, you'll continue to declutter and it'll get easier and easier and easier for you until at the flick of the Ace of Wands, you'll know how to manifest whatever it is, even if it's just peace for yourself in a world of chaos. Hold your vision. Do exactly what you've been doing. You've already decolonized your mind. You've already went from straight just believing whatever logic tells you, whatever you're being told. This is being completely dogmatic. Whatever belief you have, it's written in stone and you sit on it in stone. But we've decided to fall off of that stone seat and take a journey within to know ourselves. And what this has caused us to do is re-strategize and reassess the path that we were on before. We've already turned back. So hold your vision. You and your loved ones are safe. Let's clarify that. Come on in, Carol. Thank you. We are not a part of that cycle anymore. It's a rinse, wash, and repeat. And so for us, for the rest of the world, the new year, the only thing new that it will bring is that the same things continue to happen and get worse. So that would be new for them. The disappointment of not breaking out of this train wreck that we've already broken out of. We're not in the loop anymore, not that loop. We've actually this is for those who are spiritually aware and energetically aware, especially this is the ones who did the ceremony. What we've already made some strong investments already. This ceremony, we've already staked our claim in some things. So you guys expect to get your inheritance from this ceremony, those of you who participated. Because everybody who participated, since I'm already aware, I've seen your names throughout the past years, the past few years. I've seen the work that you all have been doing from firsthand, and I've personally given you all personal progress reports telling you, if nobody else is telling you from the spiritual perspective when I do your consultations, there has been major progress made in all of you. You've been working your own energy, not just with me, but you've just been using me, lending your energy so that I can do some heavy lifting for you. But it's your choice and your energy to lend. You guys have already staked your claim in some abundance. It will come to you. Look, it will come. It's working its way through the pipeline now. Even more so, this is why you and your loved ones are safe. We've been on the path, and so we've already learned. We're not even beginners anymore with the aces. We're in the courts now. We've already learned. And for you guys, if you don't know how to do woo yourself, you know what spiritual works to get done for yourself when life starts to get weird. You'll book a consultation with somebody You'll get some work done, let me get a blockbuster, let me get da 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 da, da, and it's been working for you. You've taken your life into your own hands because you know yourself enough to be able to do so. Spirit said, I acknowledge how challenging it is for you. And Spirit said, I want you to acknowledge that there is everything that we see going on in the world started off as an energetic and spiritual battle. It's only hard because because it is a spiritual battle and you have been under one and it still is one. However, we are presenting ourselves as a force to the forces. Even me being here today, this is me striking a blow. Delivering this message, striking a blow. We make their job just a little bit harder by being the light. We are the light. When their desires are just to shroud everybody's minds and consciousness in darkness. It's hard, but they will not prevail. Clarifying you and your loved ones are safe. We've already learned how to survive and thrive. And this is adapting. So the challenges that we face will continue to be adapting to the new challenges in the world, but we have the tools to be able to do so. Take time to breathe out. Now that's a nice message after the message I got for the collective of humanity that ain't necessarily on this path. That's a complete contrast. They're telling us to relax. Why would they be telling us to relax knowing what's going on in the world? Well, let's see. Well, there is some mass deception going on. Why would you ask me if Jesus is coming? If you believe in Jesus, then you should know better than I do, right? You shouldn't be here asking me questions, seeking wisdom and knowledge. Shouldn't you be looking to your sources that were given to you in your mass or your church? Why are you here asking me to be a prophet and see into the future? You should be able to ask your pastor that, but you're here. Mass deception. But take time to breathe out because we already know. If you're already on the narrow path, then you're already aware. So despite this, and this is also a Gemini card, Trump, despite the dictator, if you're in the US and abroad, because he's a dictator, so he's dictating shit abroad. We chilling. Like we see it, but we know it's not our portion. And we stand on knowing who we are as natives to this earth. Look, our feet are supplanted on this earth. And even though we're in a position to have to defend our position because of all these attacks from all these hybrids that look like humans, it's our land to stand on, and we will motherfucking stand. You can't get rid of true human beings who also know themselves. Yes, the moment that you decide to love yourself, you will find love this year. Boom. $100 right now in the chat. If you decide to love yourself this year, then yes, you will find love this year. We already know that though. So we have a solid ground that we stand on no matter what attacks come our way. We're armed and prepared. So that's why we have take time to breathe out. Let me look into armed and prepared because I like that for me. Okay. Oh, I pissed some people off in this live, but they're watching, especially when I broke to those who aren't on this path or aren't spiritually aware or even historically aware about drawing the conclusions between certain people not being a part of the covenant like all other humanity, and that's why they choose violence. I pissed some people off, but I also made them awarely angry. That's a new word that I created because I have the ability to do so. Awaringly angry. Yeah. Awaringly angry. That's when somebody flicks the light on in your mind that you didn't want turned on. And then you get mad as fuck because now you're awaringly angry. Welcome, Bran. Welcome to the land of milk and honey. Awaringly angry. Because I said that. Who said that? And then they was like, mind fucking blown. That makes sense. Violence, because they're not a part of humanity. Conquering other lands that they don't belong in. And using Jesus to do it? Somebody says she preaching. As they were mad. So that tells me the ones who are awaringly angry probably are like-skinneder than this. They're the only ones who would need to be awaringly angry, or the Good Baptists and Kojics in the chat. Because now y'all mad that y'all been paying 10% for generations and nobody ever for the free ski. You're welcome. This channel is monetized. That's why I told y'all it wasn't going to be easy or free anymore to get the truth. My channel is monetized, so you're welcome. Handmade, hand-blown glass. I call it Command because my sister said she got them for me because they were Scandal glasses. And there was a set of 2. So this is Command and the other one is Millie. It used to be B613, but when I thought about Scandal, I said, no, besides Command, if you think about it, Millie was the second baddest bitch on there. Not even Olivia. Command was a bad bitch, but then it was Millie. Let that marinate. Just think about it. Just think on that. Why Millie was a better bitch than Olivia. Just think about Millie in her iconic presence on Scandal. An iconic first lady. A white lady that I would invite, not to a cookout, but to brunch at my place with the girls. You like that, Bran? Awaringly angry? There it is. That's when somebody tells you some truth that makes perfect sense, but you hate it. Mind blown. Let me pull awaringly angry off the bottom and read that, because why are they awaringly angry? I know. And they still in the chat too. Seething, salivating at the skin, fur getting all matted to their forehead. Child. Lord, y'all know I'm a Libra, right? Not Justice. Big Dina, not the little one. That's why they call me Big Mama Busted. Not talking about they faux religion. No, I got some of the Kojics in here mad. Not Bishop in here mad. Not Bishop. No, I got some of the big three mad, the big three Abrahamic, talking about the birth of their religion and their mothers. Their human mothers laying them low and spreading them wide to the Nephilims, the Nephilim races. Child. Talking about religion was used to conquer the original peoples and making perfect sense. Now they feeling judgment in reverse is feeling criticized, like, well, sitting there putting math. God damn it. Well, shit, 2 plus 2 is always 4. Damn, fuck. The math is mathing, and the people get to feel in all kinds of way. This is my hit dog hollering card. Let me look into the hit dogs, because the justice, the truth. Look at one of them in the chat, Devin Karma. Look at one of the awaringly angry. Look at them. I ain't even gonna take them out the chat, so y'all can. I ain't finna pin them. You guys, Devin Karma. That's the awaringly angry I was talking about. I ain't even gonna block them, so we have an example. Awaringly angry. I told y'all they was here. Those are secrets, first of all, mysteries that they either didn't know or don't want nobody, the masses, to know. And here I am, teaching the word, being the original pope, about their Lord and Savior, Jesus. That's why y'all, man, y'all could have said something. Jesus is my friend. He made this for me. Shout out to Jesus. The OG winemaker. He was a great vintner. He made this Cabernet. What y'all mean? Y'all was mad about that? That's all y'all had to say. I could have told y'all I love Jesus. I invite him over for wine and charcuterie every Sunday. I could have. That's why y'all was mad. Because I said something about y'all Lord and thy Savior. That's my friend. Oh, y'all ain't like it because you liked it. Y'all are a hard bunch to please, the Kojics. Kojics like, how I get into this? I'm using that term loosely for everybody who's awaringly angry. Let me look into Jesus. This is the Jesus card in tarot. And this is also the traditional religious card. So, not thy Lord and Savior. Not me being a better messenger than Bishop. Messages just hitting. Boom, 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 boom. And y'all been sitting up paying 10% for decades. Now, let me do the math. 10, what is 10% out of every paycheck or 10 a month? Somebody tell me, is it, because I ain't paid in a long time. I ain't paid my church taxes since 2012. And I ain't paid regularly. I had just became an adult then. I was just barely an adult. I was like 21. And then I got snatched out. My spirit said, no, the fuck we won't. No, the fuck we won't. Not anymore. Is it 10% a month or out of every paycheck? And then do the math for you and your ancestors. That means how long you been paying tithes, your mama been paying tithes, and you know your grandmama paid faithfully for the 40 years that she was saved. So do the math for the generational the generational tithes. And y'all sitting here like, I know she ain't just take 20 minutes to make sense of everything I should have learned in church. Boom, 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 8 minutes flat. about thy Lord and Savior. Y'all feel like I'm preaching, ain't it? And some of y'all getting ready to leave. No. Some of y'all put y'all pockets up, pocketbooks up. As soon as I finish saying that, y'all finna walk out right now. Some of y'all ain't even going to church Sunday. Some of y'all gonna just tune in to Beyond the Veil. Some of y'all finna go watch all my previous videos and lives and find out if that girl be preaching and do. Look at y'all walking away from the deception. 8 minutes flat. Eight of eight of wands, 8 of cups. Swiftly, the messages start hitting. Y'all picked up y'all purses. Right before Pastor passed that plate around, you said, and I will not either. Just like she said, her spirit said, and she will not. I feel like my spirit's saying the same fucking thing. Let me pack up my purse. They done said, lock the doors, y'all. They done start locking y'all in. So I told y'all it was going to get tough for y'all to get on the narrow path. Because now when y'all get up, they going to lock y'all in. And what y'all going to do? They done start locking y'all in when they pass the plates around. So what is y'all going to do? High beams on and is the fuck? I'm doing this. I'm doing woo in the back, and I came to deliver a word, so I needed to be comfortable. And I'm 38. I bet you your 38-year-old Chi-Chis can't sit without a bra like this, all percolated. Get the fuck out of here if you think you finna shame me by some titties that sit up without a bra at 38. Bitch. What? What? Anyways. Yes, I bet y'all pastor wasn't doing this while delivering a truthful word. Y'all get truth and chi-chis. Listen, and y'all been paying how much? I got you. Who all in this number? Who all is in this number? Because look, y'all walking towards a locked door. So is y'all gonna fight them people on y'all way out? Cause we living in the days where they lock y'all bitches in before they put the plates out. So what y'all finna start doing? Hey, what y'all finna start doing? Y'all gonna sit back down when they say, where you going? When the bishop bouncers in the back? Cause they finna start hiring real security, real bouncers for the offering in the churches. The ushers ain't even gonna look like the ladies with the gloves no more. They gonna be bouncer ass niggas. Y'all gonna try to get up and sneak your way out right before the plate go past and fuck you going. Right in front of the door. Fuck you going in the Lord's name. Sit your unholy ass down. They gonna be at the door with a tap card. I mean a tap machine. We take tap. Where you going? That's what they gonna be doing when y'all trying to get out after they lock doors. So is y'all gonna fight for y'all or what? Now that y'all done heard that truth and y'all feeling like y'all gotta get up when they lock the doors and start with that tap machine, what y'all gonna do? Is y'all gonna sit back down? That's all I want to know with my messy ass. Is you gonna sit back down? Or is you gonna trip the lady with the white glove at the door? Is you gonna yeet that bitch across the pulpit? Y'all gonna sit back down, ain't it? And tap that double click on the side, ain't it? I knew it. That was a message for the lamb. And since I'm on the lamb, because we get to flex like this ain't for everybody, this for the lamb. Spirit, for those who participated in giving their offerings, because I decided, you know what, I'm going to give my spirits an offering. They've been good to me. And then I said, if anybody else wants to, because you feel like the Lord been good to you, knowing thyself has been good to you, and your ancestors that y'all been calling on been good to you, y'all can celebrate the spirits with me. And y'all said, say less. Tell the spirits to get the spirits whiskey, a cigar, hell, get them a meal. That's what some of y'all said and did. I went and got the strongest proof rum. It was so strong that when that bitch touched the palm of my hand, my fingers was burned. And I was like, I didn't cut myself. Why is that burning? They like that shit though. They like that. We had porterhouse T-bones. We had cakes, desserts, and some other things that I cannot mention because they are ceremonial, but we had it, and I didn't show y'all some of the stuff because I couldn't show y'all that. That was going to scare. We renewed covenants, we gave thanks, and we planned our success. I don't know about y'all, but we called it down. We didn't make resolutions. We said this what it's going to be. And then we just walked away. Spirit, for those who gave their offerings though, because I am grateful. I've been doing this personally by myself, but to have amassed so many people who found it in their hearts to say, I want to also join you in giving thanks to the spirits who have been kind to us. I am grateful. It went from just me, and now there are dozens, hundreds of you, not in this ceremony, it wasn't hundreds of y'all, dozens of y'all who also wanted to participate. If I am almost overwhelmed with emotion by that gesture, I can imagine how the spirits feel, and I want to see. So I'm going to get a oracle card for you guys who participated in the offering ceremony specifically, because you didn't have to do that. I mentioned that I'm giving them an offering, and y'all decided, put me in, coach, get them something nice for me too. And that was y'all ties. That was y'all saying all this shit that y'all been doing for me ain't been going unnoticed. Let us give thanks. And while there was a full wolf moon on the day of the 2026 calendar new year, that's what we were doing. That's what we were doing. And I want to see if anyone besides us noticed. Spirit, may I have a message for everyone who participated in my offering ceremony, the one that I did. I can speak for everybody else. But those participants who gave their gratitude with me presiding. Let me help undistract you, Michael. I know I'm about to wrap this up because I'm getting hungry. It's time to release negativity, step out of your comfort zone. It's time to take action. Don't let pride get in your way, and you guys didn't. First and foremost, your choice is acknowledged because you didn't have to do that. It's time to take action. Offerings are not required. So it's never a requirement to say thank you with gifts, other than just closing your eyes and saying thank you, but with gifts and things like that. In a season where you guys, you know, you just had Halloween, you just had Thanksgiving, you just had Christmas. For most of you, this was your first time doing something like that, and you have no idea. Actually, we have no idea what that did for us, just giving offerings. It's time to release negativity. Not only was the offering received, but I think something was given back to us in return or taken away from us. Maybe even a protection. Look at that. Your choice to participate in that. A conscious decision. Look at that. It's time to release negativity in reverse. All of you, individuals who participated, Spirit said noted, duly noted. Because this is me facilitating it. And this is you guys saying, let me join. This is what was in the midst when two or more were gathered together. sharing our offerings to the divine. That's what was in the midst. All of your offerings were received, well received, with gratitude from ancestors, spirits, young and old, ancient and new, known and unknown. Look at this. Two of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. Spirit said, I know you guys were giving an offering, but blessings come down. Gratitude is returned. And for you guys, we know that you live in a 3D world. So when we say thank you, we got to show it. And we will. You've been seen and heard. Step out of your comfort zone. That is beautiful. Choice. Your choice. Some of you, it might not even been easy. Some of y'all might have had to juggle some things around. I don't know. Some of y'all might not have had much to offer besides the participation, but a decision was made. And not only was it well received, but it was completed. It was a successful offering ceremony. Even though the crown of success is still going, the offering was well received. It was a success. Noted by every being in the universe. They were watching, present. Obviously, because all of humanity was celebrating the new year. So all of the heavens and all of the other forces would be watching too. They watch everything that we're doing, especially when we're doing something collectively on one accord. So we had the universe's attention. We had the divine's attention. And that's how we chose. That's what y'all chose to do with the attention you had. I love you. If that's what you chose to do for us, spirits, in your new year, we love you. We love you back. In our offering ceremony, there was another presence in the midst. In the midst of our pure intentions, there was something else, a higher being, a higher force in the midst. Some of you all will be surprised at some of the blessings that you will receive. Even though you guys didn't do that for blessings, the Spirit said they will return their acknowledgement of our offerings. They will return it in blessings. It has to be tangible for us. It'll be spiritual blessings too. But take this as the first spiritual blessing, as the fact that they acknowledge your offerings. Spirit, one more card to wrap up the message to those who participated in giving their offerings, because I want them to be able to see the energy behind that. Were their intentions for giving offerings and participating, their intentions, were those acknowledged and received by the spirits, as well as any offerings that they sent? And they know, JD, for anyone who missed the ceremony, don't think that the spirits don't acknowledge your gratitude. Y'all been rocking with the spirits for a long time. I said, was it received? Victory, success. But this also is a Cancer card. It's a card of victory and success, but it's a Cancer card. It's a card of power, dominance, victory through sheer will and force. But it's a Cancer card. Wolf moon in Cancer, anybody? Energies of the moon. See, now see, that's the high priestess energy here. So it's a spiritual ceremony, but it was a success. I asked if it was a success, if it was received. It was a success. What we came to do was done. Your gifts and offerings were received. But y'all got something in return already. This is codependency. This is having, but also having to give or wanting to give, but not even out of abundance. So this tells me y'all ain't even rich like that. Ain't none of y'all rich and balling, but y'all gave. You guys gained something. I'm talking about spiritually. You gained something. There's somebody who's with you or something that's with you now that's invested in your material situation now. Due to you giving offerings. Cancer, offerings. Anybody who wished they could have, who is still grateful, but did not get the opportunity, don't feel bad, don't feel left out. Spirit acknowledges you too, even though you didn't get to join the party. Spirit sees you too, they're right behind you. Even acknowledging the fact that you might feel a way about missing it. Spirit is right behind you too, saying, no, we see you, we're behind you. Don't feel bad. And on that note, I'm hungry. Enjoy your Friday.